Welcome to the AVAIL Leadership Podcast, where our goal is to help you take your leadership to the next level. My name is Virgil Sierra, and today we're jumping into a conversation with Jeff Scott Smith on the new release of his book, Breakthrough is in You, Conquer 5 Fears That Keep You from Advancing. Jeff is the president of JSS Consulting, as well as the lead pastor of Strong Tower Church in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Lean in as he helps you discover that breakthrough is in you. Let's get started. Pastor Jeff, we are so pumped to have you here on the AVAIL Live Call webinar. How you doing, sir?
Pastor Virgil, my good friend, it is good to be back with you via this medium here tonight, and to all those that are logging on via Zoom or Facebook Live. We're glad to have you on. And man, I love the vibe, the music, man. Woo! I love some smooth jazz. You're talking my language already.
Come on, brother.
Good to be here tonight.
Hey, we're so pumped. We're here to talk about your new book, Pastor Jeff. Breakthrough is in you. I know that this has a special place in your heart. By the way, Conquer 5 Fears That Keep You from Advancing. It would be awesome if maybe you could just share with all of our viewers and listeners here a little bit about what inspired you to write this book. What inspired you to write this book, and how do you feel about this new, revamped book coming out in this time?
Sure. You know, I've had the privilege of working with people in many different formats and contexts for over 20 years, whether it's pastoring or coaching or consulting. And Pastor Virgil, one of the things that really I dislike is seeing people stuck in life. It really is a disappointment to me when I see someone not advancing and moving forward in life. And one of the things that I really have a heart for is just helping people to move forward. Whether I'm preaching a message, whether I'm teaching a class, whether I'm coaching or consulting, my heart is to see that team, that individual, that organization move forward. And so as I began having conversations with teams, with people, with organizations, one of the things that I began to see is that many times they just needed a breakthrough. Mm-hmm. They were at a significant moment in their life. They were at maybe a crossroad, or there was a door of opportunity that was open, but for some reason, they weren't moving forward. They needed to break through. And in the book, I talk a little bit about breakthrough being simply the ability to move through or beyond a barrier or obstacle. It's a dynamic that I think is resident within everybody, the ability to move forward. But sometimes, for whatever reason, that dynamic may go dormant or might not be active. And so I found a lot of times that there was a fear that was the reason that people did not move forward or break through barriers as they should. So this book is really helping people to identify those fears, and more importantly, develop strategies and action steps to attack those fears and overcome so they can break through.
Yeah, I think this is an important word, Pastor Jeff, because I think even though a lot of people we don't like to admit it, but fear definitely limits us, paralyzes us. You know, I want you to start off by defining fear. What is fear, and what are the negative effects that come along with it?
I think fear, and this is the definition I've been working with here as of late. There's all kinds of definitions of fear: false evidence appearing real, and fear, the absence of faith. All of those things I think are applicable to varying degrees. But the definition that I've been working with here lately, it's the inability to act due to incomplete or incorrect information.
Okay.
I think really fear is many times something that can grip a person's life because the information they have about themselves, about the world around them, about opportunities, about others, that information is either incomplete or it is incorrect. And when we have incomplete or incorrect information, a lot of times that will cause us to have a fear or certainly a reluctance in moving forward.
So true. In the book, by the way, if you just kind of connected recently, The book is Breakthrough is in You. Conquer 5 fears that keep you from advancing. What are some of those fears that you talk about in the book? Is there one that's maybe more prevalent than others specifically? But I think it would be valuable to hear from this. And then in a moment, I'm going to let everybody who's watching know that you can actually use the Q&A tab and you can type in a question and we'll have Pastor Jeff answer your question. So as he's talking and kind of unpacking this whole topic of breakthrough is in you, feel free to type a question in the Q&A tab. So Pastor Jeff, what are some of those fears?
Yeah. So I'm going to follow your lead tonight, Pastor Virgil. So you just kind of flag me when we need to shift direction.
Yes.
All right. But what I'm going to do is maybe just give an overview and give the 5 fears, and then we'll go back and maybe unpack as we're able to each one. In the book, we talk about the fear of the unknown, the fear of the unknown. We secondly talk about the fear of failure. Thirdly, we talk about the fear of going first. And then we talk about the fear of investment. And then lastly, the fear of opposition. For those that are listening, let me hit that one more time. The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, the fear of going first, the fear of investment, and then the fear of opposition. You asked me early, is there one that maybe is more prevalent or dominant? And I would say, I'm not sure if there's one in particular. I think fear of the unknown is a big one, that many times people will not go forward in life unless they've got all the blanks filled in, unless all of their questions are answered, unless everybody has given them the complete playbook on how everything is going to roll out. We'll play the game of wait and see. I'm just going to wait and see before I move forward. So I think a lot of times in a lot of different areas in our life, we can fall victim to this wait and see mentality, the fear of the unknown. Uncertainty grips us. So we miss out on many opportunities that lie ahead for us. I think the other one is the fear of investment, and we'll go into detail on that, but that is the fear of really putting in the work. It's the fear of investing my time, my talent, my energy, my focus into something because I'm afraid that my efforts won't pay off. I'll go back into that a little bit, but let's unpack the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. I think these two are the most probably prevalent ones. And so let's start with the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. I think so many times in life, it's as though safe is where we want to be. We have kind of bought into the misconception that to be safe means that life is going to go well. I would venture to say that playing it safe is overrated. That many times we miss out on great things that lie ahead. I like the way H. Jackson Brown says it. He says it this way: do not be afraid to go out on a limb because that's where the fruit is. And many times I think people will kind of hug the base of the tree, stay on the ground, and not venture to go up and get out on the limb because of fear. Is the limb going to hold me? Is the limb going to break? Well, guess what? If you're always asking those questions, you'll never be able to benefit from the fruit that's at the end of that limb.
That's good.
I think it's important for us to realize that when we have a fear of the unknown and we're wanting to play it safe in life, many times we will end up settling for a lesser version of life. Yeah. I don't think there's anything in life where you have all the answers up front. For example, I know when I got married, just celebrated 29 years of marriage this last Sunday.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. When I got married, I didn't know everything that was going to happen, right? If I was waiting to get all the answers, to know exactly how things were going to play out, I would have never asked for Nicola's hand in marriage. I would have been stuck right there. Think of parenting. We would have never had children if we thought we needed to know how to parent perfectly so that we made no mistakes. The fear of the unknown many times keeps us from enjoying the better parts of life and the opportunities that lay ahead. So I think fear of the unknown is a key one. The second one that we talk about in the book is the fear of failure. Mm-hmm. This is a big one. The fear of failure.
Yeah.
The fear of failure just simply says that I'm not going to move forward in my life because I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to fall on my face. I'm going to fail. I won't make it. And the reality is that failure many times is a stepping stone into success.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, we talk about Thomas Edison and how in his journey to invent, he didn't always have the perfect outcome. But if he was always looking for the perfect outcome at every try he made, he would have never tried at all. And so sometimes we have to understand that failure works for us to move us forward when we understand this principle, which is simply failure is only an incident. It's never an identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times I think people will look at failure or a mistake and they think they are a failure. They are a mistake. And I have found, Pastor Virgil, we all make mistakes, but you are not your mistake.
Right.
We all fail, but you are not a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that we realize that failure does not have to be fatal. It does not have to be final. You just have to determine, I'm going to get back up. It's the Bible that tells us a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. Man, I feel really right here, Pastor Virgil, someone needed to hear that right there. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're listening, maybe you're watching, and you just came through a failure. Maybe you just made a big blunder or mistake. And the whispering voice of the enemy is trying to tell you, look what you did. You're a failure. You're a mistake. You're a mishap. You're a mess up. I just want to dispel that right there. You are not a failure. Mm-hmm. You are not a mistake. That is only an incident, not your identity. It's a stepping stone. You just got to get up and put your foot forward and keep moving ahead. So the fear of failure, I think, is probably another one that many times people struggle with in life. I've had my own challenges with that. And sometimes, we'll fail and we'll say to ourselves, that didn't go right. Mm-hmm. That's not the outcome I hoped for. I wish things could have been better. But I have found that if I will just believe that my tomorrow is greater than my yesterday, mm-hmm. then I can make the right decision in my today and get up and fight another day. So fear of failure, I think, is a key one. Here's an interesting one, Pastor Virgil. The fear of going first. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people will find themselves in life not moving forward because they're afraid to go first. The problem with that is, as I say many times, if you're afraid to go first, the best you'll ever be in life is second. You will always be the also ran. You will always be second place. First place will never be an experience that you can enjoy if you're afraid to go first. I like what Erica Young says about that. She says this: if you don't risk anything, you risk even more. And sometimes in order for you to break through, you've got to go first. You've got to take the risk. You've got to be the trailblazer. You've got to be the pioneer. I might be having someone listening to me right now, and maybe you're the first person to be a person of faith in your family. Maybe have someone on the call and no one from your family has ever gone on to receive college education, start a business, live free from substance abuse. I want to encourage you not to allow the fear of going first to keep you repeating patterns and cycles that others have fallen prey to. Go ahead and break through and be first. I like it when we look at maybe Peter in the Bible, right? So Peter, we all know the story of when they're there on the water in the boat. Jesus is walking towards them, and Peter says, "Jesus, is that you?" And we know the story. Jesus says, "Yeah, it's me." And he says to him, "Come on out." He invites him to have a life-changing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now Peter's in the boat, and he has this opportunity to have this historic life-changing experience. The reality is, though, he doesn't have a blueprint for walking on water. There's no YouTube clip he can look at, right? He can't Google how to walk on water.
Right.
So he's got to make the determination. Am I going to allow the fear of going first to keep me in the boat? Or am I going to break that fear, have a breakthrough moment, and do what nobody has done before me? And in this case, what nobody has done since him.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to break the fear of going first. I want to encourage somebody. There might not be a blueprint for what's in your heart to do. There might not be a roadmap. There might not be a role model you can point to. I want to encourage you. Don't allow the fear of going first to keep you.
That's good.
Need what God has for you. Go ahead. Be the first one to go to school. Be the first one to live free from alcohol or from substance abuse. Be the first one to have a successful marriage. Be the first one to start that business. Break through and begin to seize the opportunities that God has in store for you. So the fear of going first. Here's one that I think, as I mentioned earlier, I think gets a lot of people, and that is the fear of investment. The fear of investment. The fear of investment says this: I don't know if my efforts are going to pay off. I don't know if it's going to be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to have the kind of outcomes, the kind of rewards or results that I hope to have. So it's better for me just to not even try.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fear of investment. And I have found in life, Pastor Virgil, that anything worthwhile in life is going to require an investment.
That's right.
My dad used to say it this way: in life, Jeff, there are no free lunches. You're going to have to put some work in somewhere. I like what Thomas Edison says. He says it this way: opportunity is missed by most people because it comes dressed in overalls looking like work. I think many times people will underestimate the rewards that they can have in life because they see the work associated with it as too great a price to pay.
Wow.
And when you do that, I think you sell yourself short in life. I think we have to understand the principle in life is this: you cannot reap a harvest where you have not first sown. Which is to say, you cannot have a harvest of a good marriage unless you put the work in.
That's right.
You can't have a thriving business unless you're willing to stay up late hours. You can't get that college degree if you're not willing to put the work in and study.
That's right.
You cannot have a harvest where you have not first sown. As I observe the life of great people, this is what I've noticed. Greatness never goes on sale.
Mm-hmm.
There's no easy route. There's no discounted way that you can arrive at success or greatness or achievement. Greatness costs what it costs. Success costs what it costs. Achievement costs what it costs. You've got to make up your mind that I'm willing to pay the price because I see it as worth it. I remember when I wrote my first book, I thought to myself, why put the time in? Nobody's going to read my book. Why do the research? Why take the time to write it? Who cares really what I've got to say? It was that lie in my own head that the investment, the time was not going to be worth it. But I had to do that and say, you know what? I'm going to invest the time. I'm going to put in the effort because I believe what I produce is going to help somebody move forward in life. That goes true in so many different areas. You have to believe that your efforts will pay off. I think the last one then, Pastor Virgil, is the fear of opposition. So many times people don't move forward in life. They don't move beyond or move through barriers or obstacles in their life because of the fear of opposition. The fear of opposition kind of goes this way. The fear of opposition is that fear that we have many times of a little 2-letter word. It's just a 2-letter word. It's just 2 letters, but that 2-letter word can cause even perhaps the strongest of us, the most confident of us, to back up in life. And we're afraid of this 2-letter word, and I want to give you this 2-letter word. The 2-letter word is simply N-O, no. Sometimes people, Pastor Virgil, won't go forward in life because they don't want to hear no. They're afraid of being rejected. They're afraid of being turned down. They won't go and apply for the loan because they don't want to hear a no. You haven't qualified. They won't put in the application for acceptance to that school because they don't want to hear the 2-letter word no. We're not going to accept you to the school. They won't move forward because they're afraid of the 2-letter word no. And many times I found this, Pastor Virgil, is that we will assume a no is coming before we even try.
Right.
Well, right. They're not going to accept me. They won't give me a chance. No, we have already assumed a no is coming. It's the fear of opposition. But I have found that with every opportunity, there's always opposition. As a matter of fact, the greater the opportunity, the greater the opposition. And so if we're going to be champions in life, if we're going to move forward in life, if we're going to achieve in life, we can't be afraid of opposition. Can't be afraid of adversity. Many times, watch this, it is the opposition, it is the adversity that trains you for your next step into that opportunity. It is the battle, it is the fight that fortifies in you what you need to succeed at the next level. I like what William Cullen Bryant says. He says it this way: difficulty, my brethren, is the nurse of greatness. A harsh nurse who roughly rocks her foster children into strength and athletic proportion. Man, I want to encourage somebody right here. Maybe you're in a fight tonight. Maybe you're having some opposition. Maybe you've got a little bit of adversity. The winds of life are blowing against you. I want to encourage you, don't be afraid of the opposition. Understand the opposition is training you for victory. Understand the adversity is building in you the fortitude, the stamina, the persistence, the character that you're going to need to win on the other side. Don't let the 2-letter word no. Don't let the pushback keep you from pushing through. The fear of opposition. I want to say it this way. You got to live your life understanding that there is a yes over your life that's greater than any no that might come against you in life.
It's good.
I like what the Bible says. It says it this way, that the promises of God are yes
and amen.
Live your life. Wake up every day knowing I've got a yes over my life. And God's yes trumps everybody else's no. It doesn't matter what somebody's no might be. If God says that this is for me some way, somehow, his yes is going to override that no, and I'll find myself in the place of his choosing, no matter what kind of opposition or adversity I might find myself coming up against. So those are kind of a quick overview of the 5 fears. We go into greater detail in the book and give some strategies on how to hit each of those in particular. But those are the 5 fears that I think you got to overcome if you're going to keep advancing in life.
All right, Pastor Jeff, I gotta get some music going here for a second. Give me a second. All right. We are getting into this breakthrough. We are praying for breakthrough. Come on, if you're having a good time right now on this live call webinar with AVAIL, I want you to type in the chat, this is good. This is good. Pastor Jeff, this is good. I got to say, Pastor Jeff specifically, by the way, you can put your question in the Q&A tab. If you have a question you want to ask, Pastor Jeff's going to answer live right now. I want to say, Pastor Jeff, for me specifically, I think I can identify with the fear of failure, that thought of, man, what if I mess up? If I mess up, I'm going to let down, I'm a pastor, I'm going to let down people. I'm going to let down my family. I'm going to let down the people that have put their trust in me. And then I think also the fear of opposition, right? The fear, I always want everybody to be in agreement with me and happy with what I'm deciding. And as a leader, I think for me, I think everybody here might be a little bit different, but fear of failure, fear of opposition. So the whole heart of it, by the way, everybody, we're talking about Pastor Jeff's new book, Breakthrough is in You, Conquer 5 Fears that Keep You from Advancing. We're declaring this word over everybody's life tonight, Pastor Jeff. Breakthrough is in you. Breakthrough is in you. I want you to just mention, Pastor Jeff, and in a few moments, maybe after this question, I'm going to tell people how they can get this book, sure. And how they can get some extra resources with it as well. But what would you say, Pastor Jeff, for somebody who's maybe people who are discouraged at the consistent presence of fear in their lives? Are they doing something wrong? Because there's some people who would say, if I'm honest, Pastor Jeff, there's always fear. There's always worry. What advice would you bring to somebody who's feeling that way right now? So
I would maybe answer that question by going back to the initial definition we started with on fear. Fear is the inability to act or move forward because of incomplete or incorrect information. So I would say if you're struggling with fear, what is the information that you have been working with that perhaps is incorrect or incomplete? I have found many times when you're dealing with fear, somewhere along the line, there is a lie that you bought into. And that lie is the result of incomplete or incorrect information. So what we have to do is we've got to change our information. Sometimes that lie is simply, you're not good enough. You're not educated enough. You're not talented enough. It'll never work for you. Everybody else that has tried has failed and you will too. That is incorrect information. Somebody will tell you, well, if you try and you mess up, you fall on your face, nobody will respect you. You will lose all credibility. That is incorrect information. So I would tell somebody, if they're struggling with fear, let's check the information you've been working with. Maybe that information is incorrect or incomplete. It's only half the story. It's not all the story. We need to go back and get the right information. Truth will always outlive and outrun the lie. And so what we got to do is we got to get truth to replace the lies that we have been replaying and rehearsing in our mind that have kept us in places of confinement and limitation for too long.
So good. So good. This is good. I want to tell people, Pastor Jeff, we're going to continue with some questions here, some questions that are coming in as well. But I want to tell people how they can get this book, because I think that even as we're talking about it, I'm getting pretty excited. I can think of a good 10 leaders that are directly or indirectly connected with my leadership that could benefit from this, including family members and friends that I think could really be benefit from this. So I want to just mention, I got to get my music going. I forgot my music, Pastor Jeff. I forgot the music. Come on.
I put the smooth jazz on, my friend.
Come on, baby. This is good. This is breakthrough. Breakthrough is in you, everybody. This is what I want you guys to know right now. Some of you today can get this book for free. Okay. Some of you are going to be able to get it at a discounted price. Here's the offer. It's an amazing offer. You can get this book for free when you just sign up for the annual AVAIL Journal trial subscription. First year is on us. It's free, absolutely free. If you already have a subscription, you can still get the book at a discounted price. But I want to encourage you to kind of do the no-brainer. The no-brainer is actually the masterclass bundle. When you go on this link, my team right now is putting the link in the chat. Come on, AVAIL team, help me out with that link in the chat. The AVAIL team is putting that link in the chat, which, by the way, is theartofleadership.com/breakthrough. And you can check out this offer. The masterclass bundle upgrade is definitely the way to go, because it includes this hardback book, Breakthroughs in You. It includes the companion study guide that I have right here as well. Not only does it include that, but it includes the masterclass videos. Pastor Jeff's going to tell us a little bit about that in a second, which is an amazing set of videos that go along with the teaching and the insight and the leadership gold that is in this book. And you'll also have the additional bonus Q&A session, which is actually this session, attached to that. So the masterclass bundle upgrade is the way to go. You're going to get the hardcover book, Breakthrough is in You, Conquer 5 Fears that keep you from advancing, by none other than Pastor Jeff Smith, and the companion study guide, and the masterclass videos, and the bonus Q&A session. I love this. Pastor Jeff, how did it feel to do those masterclass videos?
I loved it. I loved it because I think what we were able to do in the masterclasses is maybe hit this fear thing from a few different angles. I think what we were able to do in the masterclasses was not deal so much with the fruit, but hit the root. So we not only hit the fears, but we went to the root of how some of those fears get fortified in our life. Mm-hmm. And so like the first 2 sessions, the first 2 masterclasses, we do a deep dive into self-sabotaging thoughts. Ooh. I deal with about 8 different thoughts. We deal with about 4 in the first masterclass and another 4 in the second. But we uncover these self-sabotaging thoughts. Many times I have found in life, and really in my own life, that the biggest hindrance in my life is me. And when I'm working with people, I find many times they are the biggest roadblock in their own life. And a lot of times it's because somewhere along the line, there is a self-sabotaging thought that's got a grip on us.
Wow.
We've got to identify, uncover, and then sever. So in the first 2 masterclasses, we deal with these 8 self-sabotaging thoughts. And then where we go from there is we deal with eliminating limiting beliefs. I have found that our beliefs many times then predict our behaviors, that wow. Your behaviors are a product of what you believe. And so many times I find people living a lesser version of their life because there's a limiting belief. There's a limiting belief. And so we deal with 7 steps to get free or to eliminate those limiting beliefs. And then from there, we go into the last one, and that is finding courage. So after we uncover and identify these self-sabotaging thoughts, after we walk through these 7 steps of eliminating limiting beliefs, then we go on the journey of finding courage. Because after we run fear out, we need to replace it.
That's good.
Courage. Yeah.
That's so good. I'm getting the music up because I want you to type in the chat right now. Breakthrough is in me. Come on, declare it by faith. Breakthrough is in me. This is Pastor Jeff's book, Breakthrough is in You. I love what you guys are all typing in the chat. You guys are connected. You're leaning in. Make sure our AVAIL team is going to put that link in there. If you haven't clicked on it, make sure you hit that link. Breakthrough is in me. There you go. I like it, Lillian. I like it.
Lillian's got it there. Breakthrough is in me.
That's it. Hey, click on that link. We want to make sure you get access to this book. You might be able to get it for free. All you got to do is sign up for a year of AVAIL for free, by the way, on us. And if you already have AVAIL Journal subscription, then it's going to be a discounted price. But I highly encourage you. It's a no-brainer. The amazing offer is the upgrade bundle, which includes the hardcover book, the companion study guide, the masterclass videos, the bonus Q&A session. Man, breakthrough is in me. I'm declaring it by faith. I see everybody declare. Ava's declaring it by faith. Angela's declaring it by faith. Shanna is declaring it by faith. Shannon, Lillian is declaring it by faith. Come on. They're asking where's the link. It should be in the link there, Lillian. You should be able to see it in the chat right above your comment. The AVAIL team is putting it on there. The link, theartofleadership.com/breakthrough. You should be able to see it, or you could go to your website, internet browser, theartofleadership.com/breakthrough. Yes, 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 yes. I think that's Asira saying breakthrough is in me. Breakthrough is mine. That's it. I love it. Hey, Pastor Jeff, as we start wrapping things up, I want to ask you specifically, what's waiting for those who successfully conquer their fears? I mean, I want to get excited right now, but Do you have any encouragement or motivation for those who are struggling in that whole breakthrough right now? What's waiting for them on the other side? Because they're going to push through in Jesus' name.
Yeah, man, there is so much waiting on the other side of that fear. There's opportunity waiting. There are new relationships that are waiting. For some, there's new businesses that are waiting. For some, there's a new book, there's a new song that needs to be written.
Yeah.
There's a new message that's going to come forth in your life. For some, watch this, the breakthrough, the big reward is not so much what you're going to receive, but the pathway you open up for those that will follow after you.
Wow.
There are many that are watching you and they're saying to themselves, if they can break through,
that's good.
I can break through. For some of you, you're going to be a trailblazer. For some of you, you're going to be a pioneer. You going first, you overcoming that fear, you putting in the work and making that investment is going to make someone else's journey so much easier. So I think there's personal rewards, but I think there's also great rewards for those that are connected to you as well when you overcome your fears.
That's so good. So in essence, what I'm hearing you say is that my breakthrough could end up turning into my son's breakthrough. My breakthrough can spill into my sister's breakthrough, right? My breakthrough has the potential to impact other people's lives. This is good. I think I could be here for a whole nother hour with you, Pastor Jeff, talking about this. What do you think, or what do you say people who are trying to overcome their fears, trying to get breakthrough, but they're trying to do it without God. They're trying to do it in their own strength. They're trying to do it their own way. What would you say as advice to those people?
Yeah, great question. And let me just put this point on that last question. Breakthrough is never just about you. That's good. So when we look at that, we begin to see kind of the ripple effect that happens when one breaks through. I think when we talk about breakthrough, can one do it without God? I think, yeah. I think there's some areas that you can break through. And I mean, even in the book, we talk about different people that broke through in secular context, whether it's Steve Jobs, whether it's James Meredith, whether it's Mother Teresa. These people broke through, some believers, some not believers. But I believe to break through, ultimately, it necessitates you have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to run up against something that your skill, your talent, your education, your resources, your connections will not be sufficient to break through. At some point, you're going to need the one that is the author and the finisher of our faith. At some point, you're going to need Jehovah Jireh. At some point, you're going to need El Shaddai. At some point, you're going to need God. And so I think the sooner that you begin to lean on God and ask him for divine direction, you'll begin to break through sooner and easier in life.
So good. So good. Come on. If you're enjoying this on the chat, put your favorite emoji, put a thumbs up, put a happy face with the sunglasses on. I see your comments there. Wow, this is powerful. Breakthrough is not only about you. I love it. Hey, did I say you can get this book for free today? If you're not on AVAIL yet, you can get it for free. It's an amazing book. Pastor Jeff Smith, Breakthrough is in You. Conquer 5 fears that keep you from advancing. Upgrade to the Master Bundle, which is the only way to go as far as I'm concerned, which includes the companion study guide. You can take notes. It's awesome. You can take notes as you go along. There's some great follow through with the book. Some pictures of Pastor Jeff in there too. Awesome. And you'll have access to the masterclass video series, which is an awesome connection with the book. The Q&A bonus, which is this as well, will be a video you'll have access to. Hey, doesn't get much better than this. By the way, you can get it for free, plus an AVAIL annual subscription to the AVAIL Journal for free on us for the first year if you don't already have it. You got to get this book. It's going to be an encouragement for you, for your family, for your friends, for your team. If you're a pastor, you're a leader, you're somebody who's leading people, help them break through. Come on, tell somebody breakthrough is in you. That's what we're declaring by faith. This has been such a great conversation, Pastor Jeff. As we're kind of wrapping things up here, what are some closing thoughts that you want to leave everybody with in regards to breakthrough, in regards to overcoming fears? I really feel the Lord has already been speaking to some people here tonight on this live call webinar. But what do you want to leave everybody with today?
I cannot underscore enough what we've been repeating here in the last portion of our time here together. Breakthrough it's in you. Whether it's active or dormant, it's in you. The ability to move through and move beyond barriers and obstacles, it's in you. My prayer is that our time here tonight has in some way stirred that up afresh and anew in your life. And I want to say to everybody that's watching or listening, do not settle for a lesser version of your life. Maximize your life by breaking through every obstacle and every barrier, knowing that God has more in store for you than what you could even ask or think. I really want to encourage everybody in here to know that your best days are still ahead of you, that your tomorrow is greater than your yesterday. You simply have to make the decision today. I'm not going to allow the past to dictate my tomorrow, but I'm going to set the course for what my future is going to be. I'm going to break through. I'm not going to allow an obstacle to define me. I'm not going to allow a barrier to confine me. Yes. I'm not going to settle for a lesser version of my life. I'm going to maximize my life. It's the only one I've got. I'm going to make the most of it, and I'm going to break through. I'm going to break through in my finances. I'm going to break through in my marriage. I'm going to break through in my family. I'm going to break through in my business. I'm going to break through in my ministry. I'm going to break through I'm trying to find somebody right here. You're going to break through. You just have to make it up in your mind. You're not going to settle for a lesser version of your life, but you're going to apprehend everything that God has for you.
So good. So good. Hey, I'm so pumped, Pastor Jeff. This has been such a great conversation. If you haven't already clicked on that link, make sure you click on that link, theartofleadership.com/breakthrough. Pastor Jeff Scott Smith's book. It's a new release. It's hot off the press. Breakthrough is in you. Conquer 5 fears that keep you from advancing. We have declared it here by faith in so many of your lives. And we're hoping that you guys are going to be a channel of breakthrough for so many people. Hey, get the book for free. If you're not connected to the AVAIL Journal yet, you can get it for free. Just subscribe for an annual subscription to the AVAIL Journal, which, by the way, is free. It's on us. It's all there on the link. You'll be able to see it. But I highly encourage you all to upgrade to the Masterclass bundle, which includes the hardcover book, the companion study guide. It includes the Masterclass video series, the bonus Q&A session videos. It's going to be awesome. Pastor Jeff, this has been such an awesome time. As we're kind of closing things off, on behalf of the AVAIL leadership team, on behalf of Dr. Sam Chand, Martijn Van Tilborg, and everybody who's behind the scenes with everything that we do, we just want to tell you we're proud of you, Pastor Jeff. We're thankful for your life. We're excited to see what's coming through this book and through this next season, and we're declaring breakthrough in you as well.
Oh, man, I received that. Pastor Vigil, you've been a dynamic host. Always a great time talking with you, and a big thank you to the entire AVAIL team. Dr. Chan is a tremendous blessing. Martijn, a tremendous blessing. The entire team. I love the work that you're doing, the investment that you're making in leaders all across the world. And I'm just grateful and honored that I've had this opportunity to play a small part in that grand effort that you all are making.
We hope you are believing for breakthrough after this conversation with Jeff Smith. Remember, you can connect with him at jeffscottsmith.com. For more leadership resources, check us out at theartofleadership.com. Make sure to claim your free annual subscription of the AVAIL Journal at availjournal.com. And if you'd like to connect to our growing leadership community on Facebook, visit availleadershipconnect.com. As always, I'm your AVAIL Media host, Virgil Sierra. Muchas gracias. Thank you for connecting with us to learn the art of leadership here at the AVAIL Leadership Podcast.